distracting from some other controversies has been the coronavirus, as we know, and it's really overwhelmed some developments in stories like sports rorts that otherwise would have featured much more prominently.
That's right, and with former Sports Minister Bridget McKenzie set to appear soon before the Senate inquiry into the affair, she put out a statement last week following Senate evidence to attempt to explain her part in the situation where she signed off on the third round of sports rorts grants on April 4 last year, yet a final list was not submitted by her office to Sport Australia to the date of April 11, after the caretaker period began, after it was run by the Prime Minister's office. And the fact it was in the caretaker period after the Prime Minister called the election puts into question the legality of the third round of grants, or certainly some of them. Now, Ms McKenzie says she signed the brief on the 4th, then did not know 10 other grants were added and one taken out on the 11th. It's understood she will tell the Senate inquiry that 9 extra grants were added by her staff because they were before Sport Australia, but they were mistakenly left off the original list, the list sent or signed off on April 4th. In other words, she won't be blaming the Prime Minister's office, I understand. In Senate evidence, it'll be evidence suggesting a stuff-up, not a conspiracy. One other grant was taken out because the PMO found one grant which was contained in another program. For Labor's part, I understand if they are not satisfied with Ms McKenzie's evidence and they find she and the Prime Minister are blaming her staff for what's occurred, they will seek to call her former staff, 2 of them in particular, to give evidence at the Senate inquiry. Kind of against convention, this one, Kieran, if the advisers are called to that Senate inquiry. One of the reasons why oppositions are often loath to call ministerial advisers to these sorts of inquiries is because they see themselves back in office eventually and they don't want the same thing to happen to them. But my understanding is if Bridget McKenzie were to put all the blame on her staff, the committee would look to call her staff. As for the Prime Minister, he seems keen to avoid questions over the affair. Let's listen to him do that on Friday.
Yeah, Catherine and then Michelle.
Prime Minister, just on sports grants.
I'm doing this round, guys.
Michelle,
Kelly,
thank you very much.
On Bridget McKenzie, she's made it clear